Hi, this is Mrs. Leslie, and in this video we are going to talk about angle pair relationships. Specifically, we'll focus on vertical angles, complementary angles, and supplementary angles. First one we'll start with are vertical angles. Vertical angles are those that are on opposite sides of an intersection point, and the reason that they're important to make mention of is because they are congruent. So if we know the angle measurement of 1, then we also know angle 3, and vice versa. If we know the measurement of angle 2, then we also know the measurement of angle 4. So this tells us that angle 1 is congruent to angle 3, and that angle 2 is congruent to angle 4. Again, and that's by the vertical angle measurement, or vertical angle relationships. Now, if we go to an example, let's look at this figure. In this figure, we can see that 55 degrees is vertical to this x, so then automatically, without any calculations, we know that x equals 55 degrees. It's as simple as that. Now, if we look at complementary angles, the thing to notice about complementary angles is the fact that we have this 90-degree angle. So complementary angles are those where we have angles that have a sum of exactly 90 degrees. Now let's see that in an example. So let's say I have the following example. I have an angle that is 40 degrees and an angle that is missing, and I want to find the x. I know that 40 degrees plus x is going to give me 90 degrees because of that complementary pair relationship we see in the figure. We'll subtract 40 from both sides, and x equals 50 degrees. So by knowing the relationships within the figures, you can find unknown measurements of angles. Let's see one more example of that. In this example, again, we have the 90-degree relationship here. So 2x plus 6 plus x equals 90. We will combine our like terms, giving us 3x. We still have our plus 6, and that equals 90 degrees. We will subtract 6 from both sides to work towards isolating our variable. 3x equals 84. Now we'll divide by 3 to figure out what x equals, and in this case 84 divided by 3 goes in twice, and 3 goes in there 8 times. So our answer is 28 degrees. And that would then be complementary angles. Now, let's look at the last relationship, supplementary angles. Now here we notice that these two angles create this straight line segment here, which would then tell us they're supplementary, and that also means they add up to exactly 180 degrees. Let's see that applied to an example now. So we have 135. We're going to add that to x, and we know that equals 180. And our goal is to figure out what this x equals. We'll subtract the 135 from both sides, isolating our variable. And in this case, we'll have to borrow, and we will quickly notice that we end up with 5 here, 4 here, and our x is 45 degrees. One more. In this case, same idea. We have that supplementary pair, straight angle that they form, 4x plus 9 plus 5x. We know that is, sorry about that, 180. Combining our like terms, 9x plus 9 is 180. Working towards isolating that variable. 9x will equal 171. Working towards the end of my page here, but we'll still divide by 9. We'll kind of work over to this side here. And so x we will find by doing the division. 171 divided by 9 only goes in once. We, in this case, end up with 8. Bring down the 1, and this works out nicely to be 19. Now in this example, just a quick note, we know that x is 19 degrees. If we focus back in on here, now we will have to watch the directions of the problem. If my goal is to just find x, like what we've been doing in the entire video, I could stop. If I wanted to find the specific angle measurements of each of these, I could then take my 19, plug it into here to figure out what this angle is, and also plug into here, figure out what that angle is. So always watch your questions, because depending on what your question is, you don't want to stop too soon, and you don't want to go too far and put an answer on a, a test or a quiz where you're not giving the appropriate information either because you went too far. So just always read carefully, watch what you're looking for. In the problems we did, our only goal is to find x, but realize you could be asked for other information as well.